Andy, myself and Jan are in Cyprus. We're going to be diving the Zenobia.
So easy once you know how.
We're diving with Scarborough BSAC, and Morrison has organised this. But Andrew arranged the accommodation, and a very good job he did too. We had our own pool, but only Angela was brave enough to go in it. These are the girls sunning themselves. They went on lots of expeditions while we went diving. The weather wasn't great, it must be said, so this was one of the few days when it was really sunny. We are in Cyprus diving with Rec2tech of Protaras, starting off with some local artificial reefs that they have sunk.
I'll tell you what to do then.
This is us loading onto the little rib that will take us out. We're joined by Darren Conway, an American who's married to an English lass and is out here with us.
Sometime in October we sailed from England shore. When we sailed into a raging storm like I've never ever seen before. And all of the crew, they were brave men, but the captain, he was braver. He said, never mind the ship, me boys, there's none of us here can save her. Let her go down, swim for your lives, swim for your children, swim for your wives, but let her go down, just let her go down.
The harbour at Protaras has this lovely little chapel, very plain on the outside, classic Greek Orthodox. Gives you a hint of what's inside. It's so Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, isn't it?
Lost in the open ocean, there was some of the crew and me. While the captain steered our wounded ship to the bottom of that angry sea. And with his dying breath, we all heard him say, just the fortunes of a sailor. Then he said, never mind the ship, me boy, there's none of us here can save her. Let her go down, swim for your life, swim for your children, swim for your wives, but let her go down, just let her go down.
He wondered if his shipmates were ready just to pray and give in. So he called their names out one by one, but there was no one else around but him.
He saw the ship go down in the fading light, and he knew they couldn't save her.
We tended to finish our diving mid-afternoon, which gave us the opportunity to go for a little walk. So this is down to the beachfront of Protaras and along there. You can see nice wild flowers and quite a selection. I can't tell you what they were called, but they were very pretty. Another little cove. Yeah. They were scattered every maybe 200 yards. Weather was quite rough normally, but we got a quiet day for this walk. After the warm-up dives, we're having our first day on the Zenobia. We're guided by Maria. Just coming down the triangular shot line. A couple of lionfish. Fortunately, there were no lionfish inside the wreck. First visit was to the propellers and rudders at the stern. You can see from the pitch that they're relatively high-speed propellers. And now we're going round the stern to the rear loading doors. These are some big winches on one of the lorry decks. And here are some of the many lorries that still remain on the wreck. Then up past the lifeboat davits. Looking down on one of the lifeboats, you can see somebody's left some cylinders just in case. And a nice reasonable sized grouper. It might have been sunny, but it was pretty cold. You can see Maria's not enjoying it at all. Second dive of the day, and again we're starting at the triangular shot line. And we're going to swim through the accommodation section. As you can see, it is a confined space, but there is plenty of light from the windows above us. This is the first extended penetration that Darren's ever done, and he coped with it admirably. After passing through the accommodation section, we come out into the lounge. The ship's on its side, so we're just exiting out the front windows. That's Maria and Darren in front of me. And here is Andy and Jan. We're going to go back into the ship via that open doorway, which leads us into the upper cargo deck. Quite dark in there, in fact very dark. Halfway along now, and this gives you some idea of the vastness of this space. These are bottles of oil that came out of one of the lorries and have stuck to the ceiling because, of course, oil is lighter than water. Having come out of the upper cargo deck, we're heading towards the bows again. Maria is going to take Darren through the bridge. We're entering at the rear. And now back to the shot line and eventually the boat. It was a pretty choppy exit because there was a hell of a swell. This is a little beach bar we found to the north of Protaras.
So yeah, within a matter of
Came here in the afternoon for a lunch and to admire this fella, a single-handed yachtsman. Obviously knows what he's doing because he's been able to launch the boat and just sail away into the distance. Leaving his trailer bobbing along in the water.
when you've had enough.
I might have another one.
That just tastes strong. Oh, they're doing shots now, eh?
Ball game ready. Have a serve, and then I'll bring up the wife. Go. Yeah, working late.
I don't want one, sorry.
Yes! Yes! Oi, oi, oi! Delicious. Delicious.
It's our second day on Zenobia, and today's guide is Evonne, who along with Will is the co-owner of Rec2tech in Protaras, where we booked our dive package. We're starting the dive by dropping down to the lorries to have another look at them. They've all collapsed to the port side of the ship, i.e. the deepest section. Cargo included eggs, those bottles of oil that you saw earlier, and cows. Unfortunately, you can still see their skeletons. Today we were joined by a group of Polish cave divers. You can see their sights, the mounts over there. Nice view of a lionfish. Unfortunately, I didn't have a powerful torch on this dive, as I managed to break it on the previous dive by leaving it on above water. Heading to the bows, where we're going to enter the cafeteria, which is one floor below the lounge that we've already been in. But because the ship's on its side, it's the same depth. A few snagging hazards in here. You can still see the lino and the tables. And apparently a microwave, although I didn't see it. Now heading over the bridge and past the main mast with its radar. We're looking for a lift shaft, and here it is. Evonne is taking us down, followed by Darren, and then I was third. Quite a tight squeeze, and it's an interesting effect of your bubbles running along the ceiling of the lift shaft. We went the whole length of the lift shaft, which takes us into the upper cargo deck that we'd already been to on previous dives. I tended to hover mid-water while the rest of them had a look at the trucks at the bottom of the ship. I must have swum pretty hard to get in front of them, because this is them coming out of the upper cargo hold. Hello, Darren. And after that it was back to the boat and a precarious climb up the ladder, because there was a fair old swell again.